Welcome to Kingdom Metalworks, and today we're going to just continue shaping the panel that we are shaping at the top in this section all the way through. We've got to get this gauge to fit. As you can see, it's not far off. We've got considerable amount more shape in here. I've still got to put some more shape in it, but it's coming in, and you can see that it's sitting relatively good right in this area here, which is great. And on the back section, we're looking relatively good there too. So it just needs more shaping all the way through this section of the panel. So that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to utilize the full radius wheel. It's a number 3 radius. As you can see, that the shape needs to be a 4 going through the panel. And if I had a 4 in the lower anvil, it wouldn't quite give me that amount of shape. So let's see where I'm at. How far have I got to go to get to a 4? Right now, we've got a little bit more shape to go. I'm not doing too bad up on the top, as you can see, coming through. So I just got to focus on this section through here. And we're just going to put it through the English wheel and continue shaping and see where we're at. I think it's coming in fairly nicely. It's a large improvement from when I started the video yesterday. Just want to stretch up on that back end just a hair. And I feel it needs a little bit more in the front than it does the rear. So we'll just continue wheeling. And it's all in the amount of pressure that you have on the English wheel to determine how much shape is going in and how quickly. And like I say, we want to keep the panel under control. I want to make sure that I know exactly because if I need to backstep, I know exactly the process that I did that caused the problem. So I put a little bit more shape in. As you can see, it's starting to conform a little bit better. Let's have a little look and see where we are with our profiles again. Like I say, doing it on camera, it's a bit of a slower process with explaining and doing, but you can see now that this is starting to conform and to shape up pretty nicely. It's become a lot closer there. So it's just a process of keep on wheeling, having patience. Oh, it burns up patience like popcorn. So you can see that I need a little bit more shape coming in through here. So we'll just continue shaping. Continue that go and flow. And as you can see, the panel has got a nice crown to it. And the reason I was flicking up on the back edge is because the end of the panel where I hadn't been running out has dropped over a taddy. But that's going to be a trim area somewhere in this line here. Is we got extra material so that the next panel that goes to it, we have enough material to trim in and do what we need to do. So we're just going to continue wheeling. I'm making sure that I don't run off the line when I get down to the base line, so that's why I've got it on with a nice big blue marker so you guys can see on film. I wouldn't necessarily have it that pronounced if I was working on my own, but for camera's sake I put a nice bright blue line. I'm making sure that as I put shape in that section that I'm continuing the shape over, because the whole panel will start dragging the shape from the edge. So knowing that, I'm going further and further over towards the edge of the panel each time, but just rubbing and scrubbing and just rough shaping. Put some shape on. Shape's coming in nicely. I'm just going to give it a little bit extra right here in the front section. Let's have a little look at our profile. You can see they're starting to conform, take up the shape nicely. The edge has dropped over, this has come up. And so that's why it's fitting the profile a lot nicer. And as you can see, the more I wheel, the closer I become. So to me, it's going in the right direction. I'm kind of happy with that. We'll check our profile going through. It's going to be a lot more crowny, so you can see now, whereas we didn't have enough shape in there before, we're starting to get the shape in. And notice I was saying I need a little bit more shape in my finger area. Needs a little bit more in that front section. The rear section is doing pretty good. And where we were fitting here before, we're no longer fitting there, because as I'm putting shape down in here, it's pulling material from the least amount of resistance, which is this edge. And so now you can see that edge. So it needs some wheeling and shaping. But that is also going to be a trim edge where we're going to trim in, ready to do the panel that goes across and over. So there you have it. We are starting to shape up nicely. I'm just going to continue rubbing it in the wheel. I'm going to do a little bit more in the front section, like I say. That's where it's needing it. And then once I get this all ironed out and rough shaped, notice that doing my staggers and going to go a little bit further over on the panel this time. Just to help it conform in that top section, keeping an eye on the panel, seeing the shape that's coming in. Just stretch that edge out a little bit just to relieve it. Shape's coming in nicely, I believe. It's coming along. Like I say, it's process. Once I finish this run, I'm going to check it again with the sweep or the profile, whichever you like to call them. I'm looking at the light lines as I'm wheeling, so I'm doing this a lot by eyeball to gauge it to not too much shape, but just enough. Okay, so now you can see where we've got that shape going up through here, looking nice and crowny, comes over. We've got quite a bit of drop over now, it's kind of looking good. Let's see where we are with our profile. And as you can see, we're getting very, very close. It's the more I wheel, the closer it becomes. So we'll check our rear one just to see how that's conforming. Got to keep an eye on both of them. So you can see that one is coming in closer to, yeah, panel's not up enough on that edge. A little bit of stretching on this just to throw that up, and a little bit more on the jabber rock bar to bend and conform. But you can see how it's all starting to come together and the panel's starting to shape up. And then at the same time, let's see what our throw over gauge is, just to see. So that shaped area where it didn't have enough shape in it has now closed that gap, got quite a bit of shape going through there. And we're similar to the front as well, coming up, coming across. Like I say, the section on the rear is dropping down. I'm going to just have to pick that up a little bit, but you can see that the shape is starting to come in. Little section in there needs picking up just a hair. So it's a process. You just keep on shaping the panel, keeping an eye on your top edge, getting this section going in. This is the second section that we're going to go for, and this is the third. And now it's getting to a stage where I need to put a little bit more bend through the catwalk, and at the same time stretch out the panel just to drop this over a hair more so that it conforms up to our gauge there too. You can see how it's sitting right on this front edge, and rather than just bend it, I've got to stretch in here a little bit more. So that will be the next video, as we're going to reverse wheel all this section up, and it's going to be on the 1.5 full radius wheel on the smaller wheel, and I'll be smoothing it and blending it to get all that to conform, but not going too far in, because I don't want to touch the area that's nice and smooth in my catwalk. I want it to be go and flow. And as you can see, it's looking relatively flat through this section. It needs a little bit more curve, which means I've got to stretch it a little bit more. So there you have it. It's starting to come in. You're starting to see what is needed and how you achieve it. So if you have enjoyed the information on this video, hit that like button and maybe subscribe. Bye for now.